In my introduction, I was saying that this new treatment, dexamethasone, if I'm pronouncing it right, was described by yourself and by the WHO as a breakthrough treatment for the COVID-19. Why is it a breakthrough?
Well, until now, we've had no treatments that are shown to improve survival in COVID-19. There is one drug, remdesivir, that was studied in the United States, which showed it decreased the time in hospital, but it has not shown to improve survival. Whereas this drug, dexamethasone, has been shown to improve survival in certain patients who are given it. And that is fantastic. It's also great news because the impact is quite significant, and also the drug is widely available throughout the world. So it's very good news.
What do you mean by improving survival? Does this have to do with death rates? What do you mean by improving survival?
Yes. Death rate, so it reduces the death rate. So we gave it to patients who were hospitalized with COVID-19, and we saw a different effect in 3 different treatment groups. So in patients who were on the ward and did not require oxygen, it did not show any benefit. In patients who were on the hospital ward who required oxygen, it reduced the risk of death by 20%. And in patients who were on the intensive care unit and were ventilated with a breathing assistance via a tube down their throat, it reduced the death rate by about 35%. So quite a big difference.
So this is only used for critical cases, not for the mild cases?
It's not for mild cases, no. It shows no benefit in mild cases. It's for people who require oxygen.
So if death numbers in the UK now are more than 42,000 cases, and around the world today we're reaching nearly 500,000, how many cases would that or could that medication have saved?
Yes, so we looked at the data in the United Kingdom, and if you had 30,000 deaths in hospital, the use of this drug would save 5,000 lives.
5,000 lives, that's a big percentage. In the UK, you have stopped using hydroxychloroquine. Why is that?
Correct. So that was also studied in our trial, and 2 weeks ago, we looked at the data from hydroxychloroquine, and we saw no benefit in patients who were treated with this drug in hospital. So we've got 6 drugs in the trial. So far, we have results from 2 of the drugs. Hydroxychloroquine did not show a benefit, and dexamethasone did show a benefit in patients who required oxygen.
Within your research, while you are studying the COVID-19 and the treatments, what new did you learn about this virus? Are we witnessing, for example, a new wave in China? Are we going to see it a seasonal virus every year? What new do we know about COVID-19?
Well, the antibody tests that are used, which show if people have had the infection in the past, have just fairly recently started being used on a big scale. And what they are showing is that actually not many people have been infected with COVID. A small percentage of the population have been infected with COVID. So that means many, many people are still able to get infected. So I do think we will see further waves of infection. And I think we are beginning to see that in other countries. There are outbreaks in China, and also there are outbreaks now in Germany. So I think this is going to be an infection that we have to deal with for some time to come.
We have heard that September is a date that we can look forward to. Is this accurate for the vaccine?
Yeah, I think, I'm not a vaccine expert, but I think September is optimistic. I think it's likely to be much later than that we really know if we have a good vaccine or not. There is some emerging data that would suggest that certain blood types are associated with an increased risk of severe COVID. But I do think that those results need to be checked in bigger studies to really make sure that they are correct. So I think there are a number of measures. Social distancing is one of them. It's important to remember hand hygiene, because you can transmit infection from contaminated surfaces, so that's very important. And also in certain circumstances, masks can help. They probably help more by preventing from somebody who's wearing the mask to somebody else. And they're particularly, I think, of value in indoor settings where it's very difficult to maintain social distance.